Bread, peanut butter, and jelly. 3 ingredients. Simple and amazing. Too much of one ingredient and it's a mess. Not enough of another ingredient and it's just not right. The wrong bread and it's something totally different. Even though it's only 3 simple ingredients, to make the perfect peanut butter and jelly sandwich takes practice. Lots of practice. It's the same with photography. For good exposure, there's 3 ingredients: shutter speed, aperture, and your ISO or ISO. It could be intimidating, but it takes practice, just like making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Once you master the first 3 ingredients, you could begin to introduce new things to your photography. You can start to use new lenses. You can start to see how different things interact with your subject. You can start to play around a little bit more and introduce new and better ingredients. Once you master these ingredients and you can start adding a little bit more and playing around with it, now you can think outside the box and do things that you'd never thought you could before. You see, photography is like food. It could get really complicated really fast. But if you focus on the main 3 ingredients, then you can start to include a little bit more and add more and more ingredients. You can take that to the next level. But don't rush. It takes practice. It takes time. Once you master this, it's going to remind you of the peanut butter and jelly sandwich. In this case, your bread is like the ISO. You setting the stage is the base that holds everything together. ISO is the light sensitivity. Too much of it and it's grainy. In this case, if I was to use a garlic bread, it wouldn't be the same thing. So you need smooth, clean white bread to make the perfect peanut butter and jelly sandwich. And then there's the peanut butter. And that, I'm gonna say, it's your aperture. Because it could be crunchy or it could be silky smooth. It's whatever you want for that image. And then by default, your jelly is going to be your shutter speed. And that's because you could use a lot or little based on the desired outcome of your image. If I want to make a waterfall be silky smooth, then I use less of a shutter speed. If I want to freeze the action, then I use more shutter speed. And it really depends on your taste and how much of this jelly you're going to use on your picture. If you want to learn and get to understand your camera better, your camera has some of these semi-automatic features. So you have shutter speed priority. In this case, your camera is going to adjust all your other settings. So try that first. Try your shutter speed, go low, go high, see how your images are different. I personally know a photographer that cannot handhold the camera unless their shutter speed is above 250 to 300 depending on the lens. So she uses shutter speed priority just so that she knows her images are going to be crisp. Otherwise they're blurry because she shakes or can't hold the camera steady. I don't know why, but she learned by practice that the best way to get her images clear is by shooting above 250th of a second. We also have aperture priority, which is AV. And with this you can see the depth of field. So take a picture at f4 or 2.8 and then take another one at f16, f22, and you'll see the difference in the depth of field. As you master this technique, you'll see if you want to blur a background or the foreground, you're going to need an f2.8. If you want more of your image to be in focus, you're going to need a much smaller apertures like an f16, f11. And a lot of this depends on your lens also. If you want to blur the background, you're going to need a longer range lens like a telephoto. This is a 70 to 200, it's a 2.8, and it blurs that background perfectly. And then when you're doing landscapes, I have a wide angle lens. This is a 15 to 35. And this is a great lens for landscape because at 15 millimeter, f11, f16, everything is going to be in focus. If I shoot at f2.8, there might be a little bit of distortion around the edges. You're not going to learn these things unless you practice. It's the same thing with video. The more you use it, the more you learn. And then that's going to give you new skills and new experience, something that you can apply later on in your photography or in your videography. I've been meaning to make this video for a very long time. I think it's been about 6 months, and something just kept holding me back. And I don't know if it's because I'm not very good at explaining things, but recently I came across another YouTuber. His name is Paul, and his channel is Choose Adventure California Style. I'm gonna put a link here at the end and on the description. And he had a motivational video that really helped me step out of my comfort zone and finally come out and make this video. His channel has inspired me to just go out and do something that I wasn't comfortable with. And little by little, if I could just keep pushing that bar, then there's not gonna be a lot that's gonna hold me back anymore. And that's it. So thank you very much for watching this video. I know it's a little bit short. I only wanted to explain the main aspects of photography. I've been meaning to do this for a long time, and I finally did it. So if you like the video, let me know in the comments. Let me know what you think. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe. If you haven't seen this video yet, that was my 1 year on YouTube video, and I had a lot of fun making that one. That one really came from the heart. And also, Choose Adventure California Style. If you haven't seen that channel, I'm gonna put the link right here, and we'll see you next week. Bye.